We've all heard of IR35, sadly, and some of us may know what it actually stands for. It stands for, if you didn't know, Inland Revenue Press Release number 35, because it was such an important measure they didn't bother to announce it in the 1999 budget. Instead, snuck it out in a press release at the back of the budget file in the hope that perhaps nobody would actually notice until it had actually been implemented and done, become a done deal and gone through law. Unfortunately, people did notice. Those people were the newly formed Professional Contractors Group, which is IPSI today. The original plan that was put forward by the Inland Revenue was one to tax freelancers at source. So get their clients or their agents to deduct the tax at source for PAYE, as opposed to allow them to have it as a company. Now, through a mass letter writing campaign, a mass lobby, a mass campaign in Parliament, PCG were able to get that defeated and moved it to the current IR35 Mark II, if you like, that we see today, where we as contractors actually decide our status for IR35 and whether we should actually pay the tax. And of course, the Inland Revenue believed that they would take all the contractors to court and they would actually win in court, and everyone would actually start to pay up. And many people do pay up, but actually in court, that has not been the case at all. In court, when it's actually been argued properly, time and time again, it has been the PCG, IPSI, that has won the court case, has won the argument. So much so that the Inland Revenue has been reluctant to take cases to court in the fear of creating new precedent. So every case that is won creates precedent. They're realising they cannot win the argument. They're reluctant to take any more court cases because they can't win the argument. But they still believe that contractors are not complying with IR35. And really deep down they believe that as freelancers, contractors, that we are not proper businesses. Failure to win the argument. So instead, we've got a new sneaky code, which I'm calling IR36, and that is putting through guidelines that all public sector jobs will have to be assessed for tax by the agent or client, and then they will be taxed at source, just as that original IR35 was actually proposed. And but they're only going to apply it to public sector jobs before. Now, you say, well, I don't work in the public sector, it's not going to affect me. I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to set a precedent, sort of precedent they can't get in court cases. They're going to set it through law, and then they're going to push this out into public sector, into the private sector. We need to come together, as the PCG did before 17 years ago, and actually fight another strong campaign. Actually write to our MPs, actually get involved in actually lobbying, get involved in campaigning. At this time, we've actually got a very powerful organisation to fall back on to get us some good press to get us in front of ministers. Now, I think that 17 years ago, IR35 was very much about tax. I think as far as the Inland Revenue, HMRC, of course it's still about tax for them. But the political will on this, I think, actually comes from embarrassment about public sector pay and tax as much as anything else. Let me give you two quick examples. Austerity meant lots of members of the public sector and the NHS were made redundant. So they often left their jobs, then got redundancy, then picked up another job in the NHS somewhere else a few weeks later. And of course government then got very angry about this. So what happens is now the same sort of thing has happened. People are going freelance in the public sector, having lost their jobs. The government says, well, this isn't right, and they're actually probably quite correct on that. Also elsewhere in the NHS, costs for contractors are rising, everyone's complaining about it. But a lot of that problem is because of insurance costs. Like an out-of-hours doctor who works freelance for the NHS, because he works as a GP during the day, running his own surgery, works freelance in the evenings for the NHS, but actually finds that his rate that he charges to come out, up to half of that rate can actually be down to indemnity costs. Actually, his indemnity insurance, which is coming in for like £20,000–30,000 a year, is their indemnity costs for GP. So obviously that's reflected in the rates that are charged. The government says rates are too high, well here is the reason why. But the problem is they're actually attacking people working in the private sector, in the public sector, are going to pay the price of this, of sorting out this mess in public sector pay. I mean, we all can see that this is a mess. It's not just a bad idea, it's not just badly thought through, it's unlikely to work in practice. Because also, where do you draw the line between what is the public sector and what is the private sector, given that so much work is contracted out? You know, and I know, the only big beneficiaries are going to be the big four consultancies, who will be unaffected by this, and it's going to be easier to go through them than it is to go take the candidates. And you know, and I know too, that it's unlikely to stop all this mess with public sector pay, and that you know and I know that it's not going to make any difference at all to the problems of insurers, GPs and others. We need to come together, get this government, which I think is more sensible, to actually see a sense that this is not going to work. Actually, we need to do that by writing to our MPs now, actually highlighting the issue, get it through the letterbox of every single MP, and actually start that campaign to stop this IR36 from taking place. My name is Philip Ross, and I was one of the original founders of IPSI PCG 17 years ago and involved in that first campaign. I'm pleased to be a member again now.